Hey, hope you're having a good day. Today I thought it'd be fun to look at some really common mistakes that you'll see as you jump into older code bases, especially ones that have been kind of incrementally added to over time. Um, there's two or three different techniques I'm going to show you in here. I'm going to try and do each one at a time and explain like why I think they're important and why I think they'll really help you out if you start using them. So up here, I think you can see this code. It's basically trying to handle what to do if you are sick, and you'll notice it's checking a few different conditions. If all those conditions are met, it's doing a bunch of things, and then it's also explicitly returning true here to kind of indicate maybe that it did something. And then in the other cases, like here, it's returning false, which would you would have to guess that it's indicating that it just didn't do anything. But then you also notice, like, for this case, it's just implicitly returning undefined or like a falsy value. Excuse me. So, why is this bad? Why is this? It looks like this code probably does what it's supposed to do. What's the point of trying to make a change to it? So, there's a couple things to me that are like really make this difficult to work with. One is that really ultimately it's mixing up doing something and deciding if you should do it, and it's using this kind of weird flag, this return value here, to indicate like whether it actually did something or not. And then the other problem with it is as you add more conditions, this is just going to get further and further nested, and the code that's in here is going to get like pushed way out, and it just gets harder to read, and you start getting more like line wrapping. And just at a glance, it's not clear to me that this is like when I look at this function name, it's not clear to me that it cares about both doing something and returning a value to indicate that it did something. And I don't like mixing those two things. So I'm hoping in this video I can convince you that this could be a lot easier to read for one, and then it could also be easier to modify if you wanted to change it for some reason. And you have to think about with these things too. You're not just writing this code for yourself today. Like if you have to spend 10 minutes figuring out what this thing does before you can start making changes to it, if you come back to this in like a month or 2 months or 6 months, you're gonna have to do it all over again, and you may not even come to the same conclusion. And then on top of that, if you're working with other people on a team, it's not going to be clear to them either, and they're going to have to go through and figure all this stuff out. When you're writing code, I like to think about optimizing for it being really like readable, and part of it being really readable is it should be pretty easy to change as well. Those typically kind of go hand in hand. So what I'm going to show you in this video is just some techniques for simplifying this, and I'm gonna go through them kind of quickly here. So the first thing we're gonna do is try to get rid of all of these nested if statements, because they're not really necessary. So I'm gonna move through these really fast, but here we're just gonna reverse the conditions on all of these. I'll start with the first one. So let's say if your temperature is not greater than 99, we just want to return false. And what this allows us to do is we can drop this whole like implied return of undefined here, and we can bump all of the rest of the code back a level, because we've already checked to see if you don't have a temperature, if you don't have a fever, I should say, we're going to return false immediately, so we can more confidently move ahead with kind of the main line of execution here. And sometimes these are called guard clauses, where you just check conditions right off the bat. And then we're just going to do the same thing here. So this is the same thing where if we don't meet that condition, we just want to return false immediately. So we're kind of reversing how that if statement is set up. And that will allow us to bring that in line and get rid of this else condition, or else case. And then this is really the same thing again. It's just implied that you would not be returning true. So instead of doing that, we're going to reverse this condition, and we are going to return false right away. And you can see after doing that, what that kind of allows us to do is isolate all these conditions right here at the top. And then, if all those are met, if they're not met, we return false. If they are all met, then we do what we want to do. And then I guess here at the end, just to make it equivalent, we'll still return true. Now, to me, this is a big improvement already, because you've clearly labeled the conditions and kind of pushed them up to the top, and you're quitting early if they aren't met and you don't want to do anything else. And then what you actually want to do is here in line. Now, if you think about how this would actually be called, you're going to have something that looks like this, and I'm just going to put in some quick values for these. And then what's the other one? Head status. And that is migraine. So previously we had something like, maybe you had something like this, like const handled equals calling handle sickness and then getting whatever that Boolean value back is. But if you look at this and you start kind of thinking about the naming here and what's happening, you'll realize what it's really doing is checking to see if you're sick first. So instead of making that kind of a weird thing, an implied thing that you have to go in and like look at the implementation of to figure out that's what it's really trying to do, we can just make it explicit. So we can say if you are sick, and then we're going to change this to is sick, and we're going to say if you're sick, then handle sickness. And so here we're separating whether you are sick from what you should do if you're sick. And this isn't going to work because these things have the same name, but let's just call it like, I don't know, patient is sick. And then here we can change it to patient is sick. So we have a naming conflict. And then what we can do now is we can split this function into its two parts. So the two parts really are handling whether you're sick, and then, determining whether you're sick, and then doing something if you're sick. So I'm gonna make a copy of this essentially down here that takes no arguments, and we're just gonna do whatever it is we really want to do in the case that you're sick. And then this becomes is sick, and it takes all the information, and then either returns false or returns true if all these conditions are met. Now this is still kind of complicated here. What I would prefer to do is to say const has fever, and then you have a fever when you're, sorry, I'm gonna take these headphones off. You have a fever when your temperature is above 99 Fahrenheit, and then that can allow you to change this to has fever, and in that case you're going to return false. And then similarly here we're going to say has stomachache, and we're just going to pull out the implementation of that and replace this with has stomach ache. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Has headache. And we're going to replace the implementation with has headache. And then now we've kind of cleaned all this stuff up. We can drop these parentheses because there's only one piece of information in there that we care about. This is like a little longer, but now you can see the intent is to say, do you have a fever? Do you have a stomach ache? Do you have a headache? And then if you wanted to keep going with this and simplify this further, if you imagine maybe you use these in other places, you could start moving the stuff out of this function and make a bunch of smaller functions. So we could basically just lift this whole thing and pass in a temperature. And then now, instead of putting all these different implementations in line down here, we could just say has temp. And now we'll just do the same thing on all these. So we'll make this we'll make these functions that take whatever info they need. Now, one thing that's nice here is you can also just like reduce that down to status, because now we're not worrying about multiple statuses in the same place. So it could just be status. Oops, I should clean it up here too. And then this is going to take stomach status, and then this is going to take head status, and so now we have these three one-line predicates that just each take one, only care about one of these different pieces of information, and then return a value, a Boolean value, depending on, what values you pass in. These are just called predicates. So now it's really clear that what all of it is sick doing is checking to see if you have a fever, if you have a stomach ache, and if you have a headache. And if you have all those things, then it's going to return true. Otherwise, it's going to return false. And then something that's kind of cool about this is as you do this process where you pull these things out to simplify the code, it'll just kind of like lead to more simplification. So what's really happening here is we're in is sick. All we really care about is like if you have a fever, if you have a stomach ache, and if you have a headache, we want to return true. So now we can get rid of even the if statements, and we can just change this to, return has fever and has stomach ache and has headache. And then now we don't even need all those if statements. Looks like I've got problems with my parens. And then at this point, because this is essentially a one-liner that returns a Boolean, you can take advantage of some of the JavaScript syntax and just get rid of the curly braces. And then I think we can break this across multiple lines. And so now it's like super clear and it reads like English. Like our definition of is sick means you have a fever, you have a stomach ache, and you have a headache. And we don't even have if statements in here anymore. They're all gone. So we went from a block of code that had a bunch of nested if statements, and it wasn't immediately clear, like, there were a lot of implied things like implied return values, and it wasn't clear why it was doing something and determining if you were sick, or why it wasn't doing things in the other cases when you aren't sick. And with this code, you have a bunch of really simple checks. If you wanted to, you could easily change the implementation of this to be like switch it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, for example. Or if you wanted to check more than one status, you could just, stomach ache status, you could easily change just this line. And if you wanted to check for other like types of headaches, you could easily just change this line. It's clear that you know, we're saying when you're sick, you are sick when you have a fever, a stomach ache, and a headache. And then what we actually want to do when you are sick is isolated to just this function here. So if we ever wanted to change that, we could just change that in one place and not affect the checking of whether you're sick or not. So this makes things a lot more flexible. You can change like any of the pieces independently, and just really cleans things up. And if you were to come back and look at this in like a month or 6 months, it would be really clear why it's set up the way it is. And if you wanted to add another condition, for example, like your foot hurts, it'd be easy to do that. And you know, if you're working on a team with other people who aren't familiar with the code, it would also be easy for them to jump in and quickly understand how it works, and if they needed to, make changes to it. So yeah, this was kind of a mix of a few different techniques in one video, but like I mentioned, this is a really common pattern that you can run into. It seems to happen a lot on code that's kind of slowly added to over time. You know, like maybe initially we only cared if you had a fever, and then somebody came back and said, well, we want to know if you have a stomach ache, and then later somebody saw how that was done and then said, well, just add on that and add another condition for if you have a headache. So yeah, sometimes it's nice to go back and just do the simplification. One thing I'll mention too is if you're going to do something like, if you're going to do a refactor like this, I would recommend starting with making sure that you have tests that cover all these different cases, like all the different branches of that initial implementation. And then once you have that, you can make these really small changes that we went through here really quickly, and you can be sure that everything's still passing and you're not going to have any problems. Yeah, that's how I would go about doing this. And I'll probably do some more videos like this, you know, as I think of other examples that I see commonly. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.